Prelude to the Revolution. The Navigation Act of 1651 tightened the government control over trade. English government wanted to closely supervise their imports and exports, limiting imports to give British manufacturers and merchants an advantage and tighten up the economic oversight of the colony. Salutary neglect is the unofficial British policy of tax enforcement to keep colonial allegiance while allowing Britain to focus its attention on European policies. Proclamation of 1763, colonists weren't allowed to pass the Appalachian Mountains. They had their eyes on the land for a while. They wanted the land for farming purposes. Sugar Act is a tax on sugar for Britain to pay off debt. Taxation without representation is the cause for the colonists to be angry at Britain. Sons of Liberty, a group of shopkeepers aggravated by the Stamp Act, forced stamp distributors throughout the colonies to resign. Stamp Act, again, an act involving tax on stamps without representation. This tax was used to pay off British troops in the colonies. It was a tax on everything of paper. Quartering Act provided a British troop with anything he needed. An act to amend and render more effectively in His Majesty's dominions in America, pushing mutiny for better payment of the army and their quarters.
Boston Massacre, a street fight between a patriot mob and British soldiers. This was a signal event leading to the Revolutionary War. Occurred on March 5th, 1770, and several colonists were killed. Gaspee Affair. The HMS Gaspee, a British customs ship, was attacked by the Sons of Liberty. In June of 1772, a dramatic event was to demonstrate the severity of the crisis. Tea Act. The passing of the Tea Act imposed no new taxes on the American colonies. Passed by Parliament on May 10, 1773, it would launch the final spark of the revolutionary movement in Boston. The act was not intended to raise revenue in the American colonies and imposed no taxes. It was designed to help the East India Company. Boston Tea Party. The American colonists believed Britain was unfairly taxing them to pay for the French and Indian debts. The colonists dressed up as Mohawk Indians. The Tea Party symbolized the colonists' willingness to go without tea rather than pay taxes. First Continental Congress met in Carpenter's Hall in Philadelphia from September 5th to October 26, 1774. First Continental Congress brought together representatives from each of the colonies except Georgia to discuss their response to the British Intolerable Acts. A number of punitive laws that were passed by Parliament after the Tea Party. They were meant to punish the Massachusetts colonists for their defiance in throwing a large tea shipment into the Boston harbor.